Hello everybody, welcome to Fruitful Trees, and today we're at another wonderful nursery, Jack and the Bean Stalk Nursery here in Lockahachie, Florida. And we're going to go check this out. They have a wonderful selection of trees, different varieties and different sizes, and they have such great stock. It's about 2 acres here. We're going to go in here and check it out now. They're in Lockahachie, Florida. I always encourage everyone to support your local nurseries, and if you're looking for fruit trees, you want to find out as many local nurseries in your neighborhood, and you want to go to them or call them up and find out what they have in stock to see if they have what you need. And some of them, like this one here, might just have some things you didn't even know were in existence. And what I like about this place is I have a picture and a description next to the majority of their trees in their retail area to describe what it is, so you can look it up right there and you can decide if that's something, if you have the room, that you're going to want to have in your garden. So let's go in and check it out. Okay, this is what I was explaining to you. They have a whole bunch of different selection of fruit trees here, and even if somebody is not available to help you, you don't need that because they got all the information right on the trees, and that's very important. So for example, we're at a whole row of lemons here, and that's another thing. This is a unique South Florida nursery that sells citrus. Not a lot of Florida nurseries sell citrus, and but this one does here. And for every variety of lemon, they have something describing it. So normally somebody like me would have to do a lot of research over the internet before I decided which one was best for my situation. But here it covers a lot of the information. It even has the prices. It says the name of the lemon and how they taste, and the weather and the time of seasoning, which is very important to know. And also it tells you that this is a dwarf plant and you can keep it in a pot, it says. That is the basic essential information. So something like that you'd want in general just to know when you're planting, and they have that on all of these different varieties. And even though I know a lot about these trees, it saves me a lot of time on the internet. And also, if I'm buying fruit trees, I want to double check and triple check and make sure that this is best for my situation. And I love that they have these labels on the majority of these trees. And their prices are very competitive in terms of they're not charging anything more. As a matter of fact, from looking at this particular tree right here, they're charging a little bit less than many of the nurseries I often visit. So that's a good thing, and that's for the lemons here. I'm going to go around and look at some of the other things they have. I know they have a lot of varieties of each thing. That's another thing. They just don't have one thing. They have a lot of varieties of things, and a lot of the things here, most of the things here are grafted. So that's another great thing. So let's take more of a look around here and see some of the things they have. In this front area they have here is more of their retail area. In the back they have a bunch of trees that are much bigger for 2 reasons. Number one, or 3 reasons. Number one, if somebody wants a bigger tree, they're growing them in the back and they could just grab them up and have them. And they plan on doing that, so they have a lot of big trees, not like just one big tree. We're going to go back there and check. But another thing is, if they want to take budwood to do their own grafting, they got that available. So that's another big advantage to a place like this. And they're always able to restock because they have it out there. So that's something I really like about this nursery. And some of the trees that they have sell here, they propagate here. Others they get from other local growers. So, you know, on every level, I'm liking the selection that they have here. And the people are wonderful that run this place. And overall, it's looking like a great place. Let's look at some more of the things they have here. Now here's a great example of how organized they are here. This is their fig tree section, and they have a bunch of fig trees and different varieties. And again, they have these wonderful labels on their trees. But even more important, they're organized here. I like organization, and this place is very organized with what they have here. So this is basic stuff here, the figs and the lemons, but they also have some pretty cool, hard to find stuff, which we're going to look at. They have a wax jambu or a wax apple, and they have different colors of that. They have the white and the red. Here they have a monk fruit, and good sizes in all these in there. Looking great. They have a whole row of medicinal and perennial plants. Here's some cranberry hibiscus. And here's some longevity spinach. Okinawa spinach. It's wonderful that they have all these edible salad greens. They have loquats, just about every variety of every fruit they have here. And again, they have different mulberries. Talking about that. So they have things here that I haven't seen in many other nurseries. And of course, they have many of the different varieties. The common varieties of avocados. The common and uncommon ones. The chuquette. And it has on these the season. That's really cool. That's the season. And also the type that they are. So that's really cool that they have that. And their prices, you know, depending when you see this, they might change, but really good prices they got here. So many varieties of mangoes. They got mame sapote. Nice looking mame sapotes. Again, with their labels on them. And here's Patuma. Barbados cherry. Star fruit. And they also have a service where they come out. They even have an almond tree. Check that out. But they come out to your house and they'll show you the landscape. And they'll help you with the landscape and where to plant and everything. There's a Relina. I recently made a video about that. It's a plant, a great plant. They have a bunch of different white sapote trees. Then they have these trees here. They also have these trees here that I haven't even heard of. And look how tall these trees are. And this is a Nance cherry. Just these big, beautiful trees. Their whole selection of citrus they got. Everybody, here we are with Edison and Kathy, and we're at Jack and the Beanstalk Nursery here in Loxahatchee, Florida. I love to get out to the local nurseries. And hello to both of you. How are you doing?
Hi, guys.
Doing great.
So tell us a little about this nursery. How long have you been in business, and what made you decide to sell fruit trees?
We actually...
you guys can stand closer.
Yeah,
That'd be okay.
We actually been already almost, on May it's going to be 4 years, right?
4 years, yes.
4 years, actually, that we start the whole thing. And like I was mentioned you before, we start the whole thing because we want to eat healthy. That was our main goal. And that's how we started, actually. That's what this nursery, actually, we specialize in edible plants. And, you know, perennial vegetables, or fruit trees. We do also carry a line of ornamentals and flowers because, believe it or not, it's very important, the flowers, to bring the pollinators to actually increase, you know, the fertility, the cross pollination for the trees and everything. Anyhow, we start everything like our name is actually made because we start everything with a seed.
One seed, exactly like the story.
Yep. So we started. My husband actually started planting the seeds, the veggies, and some fruit trees, and we get to the point that we couldn't keep up with our inventory.
That's right.
And then I say, okay, how about if we start actually sharing this? You know, we had too much.
I started laughing. I said, well, who's going to want to buy these things?
Well, so before you started this, you already knew how to grow stuff from you.
Well, my family originally from Puerto Rico, and I would be the 9th generation growing farmers.
Wow.
But earlier in my life, I decided to become a mechanic, and because of health reasons, I started growing my own fruits and vegetables. And a hurricane came along in Broward, and they wiped us out just about. But
Yeah, the first time.
she made the comment to me, well, there's no way you could eat 300 papaya trees or peaches or this or that. And so I told her, she said, let's sell it.
Yeah, one day I said, guess what? Somebody's gonna come on the weekend to check our stuff.
I was very surprised. I said, what, already?
Wow. That's wonderful.
And that's one thing bring to another. So we start actually building our business, and basically we switch careers. I'm coming from a completely different background. That's what we want to actually. At the time, we were working in a university, and it was very stressful. But just working outside, believe it or not, is very relaxing.
Yep.
It is relaxing.
Now, do most of the trees you have here, do you propagate them yourselves, or
Some
do you
of them.
get them from other local places?
Some of them
Some
we
of them.
do ourselves little by little. We've been expanding because the problem is that finally we got the space to grow, and we thought we had the space, but not so much. And within less than 2 years, we already expanded so much that I can't keep up with
Yeah.
ourselves. So hopefully, Lord be, we'll be able to expand and start propagating everything.
Wonderful. Now, besides fruit trees, I see you have here some cranberry hibiscus and some
Yep.
other edibles. So you
Yeah,
were saying you do perennial greens here as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are expanding the lines, from the longevity spinach.
So oh, wonderful. So what?
Spinach.
You longevity spinach. You got Brazilian spinach.
We have also the salad tree. We literally taste like a romaine lettuce. But if you just keep plucking cassava, yuca,
Oh wow.
katuk, purslane. Some people believe it's just a flower, but it's actually has a lot of vitamins, so you could put this in the salad. So.
Is that edible? Yes.
Yes, it's edible. Yeah, purslanes. And we keep actually.
What's it called?
Purslane.
Okay.
Purslane. Most people they use it for ground covers.
Sure.
But it's definitely an edible plant, and we keep expanding as it grows. We have more that we actually bring in. Some stuff gets dormant, so they just start waking, like the gingers and.
Do you have moringa?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We're growing it back right now again too. Actually, sorry about that. We actually growing it back again too. So, believe it, we have the frozen last month, so we kind but they're growing back again. Yep.
Okay.
And we try to keep up everything actually labeled here, as you can see it, because that's very important for customers. We have customers that sometimes they come and they don't know how it grows, where to grow. We put the planting zone, the size, the height, how is the temperature. We have people sometimes that they come, not just locals, they're just passing through, going back to their home, let's say Orlando, Sarasota, Tallahassee, Pensacola. I mean,
So you're in a nice location here.
yeah, so they're just passing through, so they need to know whether or not it will be feasible for them to grow. We have, the classic stuff, but we also have some, let's say, Quaimac, for example.
Oh, wow.
Quaimac is a rare, actually, fruit tree, but it's tasty between a jackfruit and a mulberry. And it's seedless, and it's small. It becomes in a big tree, but it's actually very.
And they grow well out here.
They actually, it could grow up to some 9B. So
Yeah, we also have a bunch of other edibles that they're seasonal, like katuk.
Yeah, we were just discussing those edible greens.
Yeah,
That's
that
wonderful.
we're gonna have. We're propagating ourselves, but we try tendency to keep at least 80% of everything you see on the website. We feel very responsible. Unfortunately, a lot of times you go to a nursery and they don't have all the inventory.
Well, especially now because of the pandemic, we've been kind of shortages in a little bit. We're trying to keep out the most we can, but it was a lot of factors involved this year, believe it or not.
So on your website, do you how updated is your list? How often do you update
every
it?
month we try to update it. Actually, we're gonna actually. I just updated last night, so we're gonna post it today.
Okay.
The new list for the inventory. Yep. Yeah. Okay. Wax apple. We have the red, the pink, the green. We also have bilimbis. They just arrived, so I got to put the label. Different varieties of star fruits. Rose apple. We have June plums. Star apple or caimito, people know that. This is called guajilote. It's a Mexican fruit that literally tastes like a sugar cane, but it's a tree.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does it make a fruit or?
Yeah, yeah, it's a fruit.
You use it a lot for sweet.
Yeah, for yeah. And it's this size, and it literally tastes like a sugar cane.
Wow.
We have achachas, lychees, different varieties. This is the sweetheart, but we have the others, Mauritius and Emperor. Jackfruit, we have bigger sizes.
Cashew.
Cashews. We just restock actually. We just wait the sugar apples, different varieties of blueberries, neem trees, almonds, the tropical almonds. We have longans, peaches. Peaches is one of those things that you could grow here. There are some few varieties are called, low chili
It's
now.
also different type of fig.
Yep. Sour sops, mulberries. We have the one.
Are your sour sops from seed or grafted?
Right now they are seedlings that we have. Sometimes we carry the grafted ones.
Okay.
It's whatever we could find in the store.
What varieties of mamey do you have?
The small ones are actually either Patino, Magaña, but we have also the Pace, Lorita in 25 gallons. I also have in the bag the Door Pumpkin Mamey, the collectible was small one.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the new varieties. We have those in the bag too.
So besides the trees you have here, this is your retail area. You have the back where you're growing personally.
Area. This is the retail that is actually labeled so people know what it's all about and the prices and sizes. But we have the growing part in the back. Blackberries, we have 6 varieties of figs, from the black to the purple to the brown to the yellow. Different varieties, to the Italian, to the French.
And here's a bunch of lemons.
Oh yes, we do also carry citrus. Most people, they are afraid, nurseries, to carry citrus because involve more actually care, is more financially actually cost involved, plus you get also more actually, the Department of Agriculture will visit you more frequently because one of those things is if you are a nursery, they only come one time to check your crop and pass your inspection. But when you have citrus, they'll come every 2 months. They'll come and check and to make sure that there is no infections. And they'll inspect the whole thing, not just the citrus itself. But we were able to learn how to grow them. Of course, this is one of those things that definitely we try to keep the most organic thing on the actually the fruit trees. But citrus definitely is a mandatory rule out that we need to actually drench with a systemically actually anti-parasites, which is basically imidacloprid. But rather than that, the rest we definitely try to keep it organically possible.
One big advantage we have, which very few nurseries can say that we're organic. Except for the citrus, every single material we use is organic.
Yeah.
Because we're conscious of our surroundings, and we know that in fact this water goes down into the ground, and we would not want to damage anyway the system with chemicals. We prefer to separate or destroy a plant if you see anything going on, and be unconscious and just let anything go through the system. We don't work that way.
Yeah. Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. We have some rare stuff for citrus, we have the regular lime, lemons, oranges, but we have like Indian Palestine sweet lime, like a lima, sweet sambucan, which is a sweet lemon, the classic stuff, the pink lemon, the kaffir ones, Buddha's hand.
Something used in Asian countries for mostly religious ceremonies.
Yes.
You're never going to see that. Very rarely you're going to see it.
Yeah. We have zapotes families. We have the densa variety of the white zapotes, which it fruits very well actually. Even in 3 gallons start flowering.
Oh wow.
The canistel, couple varieties now and available. We have even arasa. The arasa is a very sweet tarty and it's great for shakes. Actually, it's just a bush. Santol, which is it's somewhat like a mangosteen, but it's not really. It's not a garcinia, but it looks almost like a mangosteen.
How does that grow out here?
They do well, actually. They are very cold around. They could actually tolerate even up to 28. We have the freezing. We have big trees already in the bag. They'll survive. They'll drop the leaves, but they'll come back year after rain.
Of that.
Oh yeah.
Smells so beautiful.
Lemons, yeah. Wow. And we have the bigger trees, with the fruits already also. Oranges, grapefruits, tangerine, bananas, different varieties of bananas also. Actually flow this away. Guavas. We have the truly tiny banana where you could actually keep it in a pot, only grows 3-4 feet tall. Filipino, Lacatan, Dabo Mahoy, Golden Fingers. The Big Mai or the Gros Michel, I don't know if you heard about that one, is the gigantic banana. They can grow even up to 20, 25 feet tall. Guavas, we have the pink, the Ruby Supreme, Ticals, some Vietnamese guavas too, longans. We have vanilla ice cream beans.
Oh, those are tall.
Yeah, those they grow really fast. It's called actually a Nance cherry. Sorry about that. It actually was kind of windy last night, but it's actually a cherry that it tastes like a little apple.
Wow.
It tastes like a little apple, and it's very popular in Central America. And in this variety is the red one actually.
Nance cherry. Wow, those are.
Yep, those are big. It grows really fast. We have Rolinas, Deliciosas, Bayrons.
How many varieties of the Rolina?
Right now I only have one actually cultivar. Jackfruits, we have several actually cultivars on those.
Are your jackfruit seeded or grafted?
No, grafted.
Great.
Grafted. As a matter of fact, the other day we have it on display at 3-gallon size with fruit this size already. But I let them know, it's too young, but I just want you to see that they are capable to produce really fast because they are grafted. There is a new variety coming now. Oh no, it's been a while, but it's kind of getting popular. That is a small jackfruit, only grows, it's called cochin.
Yeah, I just did a video on it.
Yep, it grows about 2 to 5 pounds. It's more like a big mango, but it's great for personal. You don't want to have, sometimes waste so much fruits.
Exactly.
It's kind of personal thing, so it's one of those things. One of the things that we also do is actually try to do medicinals and stuff like that we and airs because as a matter of fact, I didn't mention, but I have a medical field background. So I know you mentioned that you like the holistic part and stuff like that. I've been trying to complement my knowledge and trying to guide also people to use, more natural medicine that we could actually find in your backyard sometimes.
Yes.
So we have lemongrass right now. We have some peppermint, some tea plants. This is a house plant, which is, you probably know that one is the Monstera deliciosa. Will give you fruit in a year, a couple years, but then it takes about a year to actually fruit. We have the miracle fruits, great, for...
Yeah, those are wonderful. Here's miracle fruit, everybody.
Yep.
Wow.
If you have a relative with cancer going under chemotherapy, that's the best thing that you could give it to them to help them. We have a yerba mate. You probably heard about that one.
Yes.
All Argentinian people, they drink all day long. It's the coffee up there. And it has actually caffeine, theophylline, theobrine, so it'll keep you up. Now I'm gonna show you my growing section. Like we were explaining you, we have been trying to propagate stuff and trying to grow stuff. So little by little, we're increasing the amount of plants that we could actually, produce for the public in different varieties of bananas, of blueberries, of figs, and some stuff is still dormant. Like this one is just trying to wake up. We have about 6 varieties of actually grapes. Grapes could grow here. There are some, varieties. The muscadine family, very different cultivars. Some even seedless ones that you can grow here. Yeah, some even actually there is some hybrids that literally taste like a regular grape. Definitely, some flowers in between. And little by little expanding. We have more perennials actually, vegetable perennials that we're growing in the back too, some tender hibiscus. And trying to. Then we also planning, because as we were talking before, because of the COVID and the amount of demand and the actually shortage on supplies on the inventories of pots, soil, fertilizer, stuff like that, we've been also been aware that fruit trees, they don't grow from one day to another. It takes years. Sometimes we have a customer say, okay, I want 6, 7, 8 feet tall tree. Okay, you're not gonna let it grow in 1 month. It's not like a close. Okay, let's make 500 of these in a month. So we are actually growing trees for the future too. Trees that people will want it bigger and bigger, and we have it available for them.
Wow, that's beautiful. Look at all those trees.
Yeah, from the 7 gallons to even up to 45 gallons. Different varieties of mangoes, avocados, star fruits, guavas,
and all of this is on irrigation?
We are working on that. We are working right now. This is in irrigation. This is going to be very soon in irrigation. It's already been hooked up.
Do you have a well here?
Yes, we have a couple wells in the property. little by little we are expanding and trying to put more actually stuff in irrigation because it takes a while just to water things. So that's one of the things that my husband actually take care of that. He's the one in charge of all the logistic and he does all the stuff. And we have different things growing here. Olives, for example, you haven't seen that in the front. We have there is some actually curry leaves in the back. Some pitombas they just start flowering too.
Here's a bunch of mangoes.
Bunch of mangoes, yes. Sunstar, actually cherry or pitangatuba. You probably tried that one before. This is the pumpkin mamey that we were actually talking about in the front.
Yeah, so pumpkin mamey, that's great that you have
yeah,
these.
We have a
Wow.
big line of
Wow, a whole bunch of them. That's wonderful.
Yeah, big line coming. Some Malay apple also growing too. The Jamaican apple. We just have one, the big one, fruiting this actually of winter. The big santals are coming right back. The santals, they were actually kind of squeezed by the winter, but it's coming right back. The blackberry jam, we have it in the bag. Just a little actually. We have some sapotillas here. And we have a big collection of that we are growing now because you probably know about all the varieties of the jaboticabas.
Yes, oh yeah, so many. How many do you have?
About 12 varieties that we are actually growing in. I guess we got to get through the front because it's still the irrigation.
12 varieties of jaboticaba, wow.
Yes.
That's great.
So it's one of those things that you definitely have to be patient to enjoy it. Yeah, because it takes a while to really grow it. Oh, like I said, it was very windy last night.
Wow, that's a big tree. What's that?
That's actually a sapotillas.
Wow.
Or some people call it like zapote chico, and it's berry. So they even have fruits. We just harvest this. This was full of lores. This is on
Sapodilla, yeah?
Yeah, that was alano. We just harvested like about 40 of those trees. It was full of actually some big rolinas. The rolina fruits really fast. It was flowering. It was actually growing fruits in the winter, but it kind of froze.
Rolina, wow, you got big trees here.
Yes. We even have guarana. You probably heard about guarana.
About what?
Guarana. You know guarana?
No.
Guarana is a vine that grows originally from Brazil. And that's what they put it on the energy drinks. Like, you probably heard about Red Bull.
Yeah.
You read in the back,
yeah.
It has guarana. It's a naturally booster. It's not caffeine itself, but it's a booster to energize
Of energy,
you.
wow.
Of energy, yes. The seed itself. Yeah. And it just, actually, sorry about that. It's just so many things. This is a rose sapote.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah, rose sapote is a family of the canistel that is actually juicy. So, some white sapote already actually popping.
Yes, look, white sapote, some on there.
Yep. Actually popping. We have breadfruits too. Breadfruits, bread nuts.
Oh, they got breadfruit here?
Yeah,
wow.
We've been actually, we try to protect them the most we can, but as you can imagine, the frozen kind of damage the leaves, but they're coming back and they get hardy. Breadfruit, even though it's a very tropical one, it gets hardy through the years. So it's one of those things. Let me still carrying this of the green. Just a second, please. So here, like I was telling you, we were trying to collect more actually jaboticabas.
Wow, look at this whole row of jaboticaba.
All jaboticabas. We have some, classic sabaras, some restingans, some autos, some scarlets, hybrids, Baxter, some red, of course, jaboticabas, and the blue ones too. Oh wow, and it's a big one actually. Hold that. I'm trying to put the tree back down before they damage it.
Look at all these jaboticabas.
ESLQ, we have it too. mean, we will try green mouse, of course.
And you fit all this on 2 acres.
Yeah, that's what I was telling you. Just
Wow.
only 2 because we are running out of space
Wow.
already.
Yes, I can see why. Yeah.
Yeah, we're running already out of space.
Is this some Camito over here?
Oh yes, we do have caimitos growing. We have the green, the purple growing. This is a rare one too, the ESLQ
Oh wow.
or the Jabos.
The Jabos, they have a bunch of rare Jabos. Wow. I never even heard of this variety, but they got a bunch of Jabos here.
Yeah, so an Otto Anderson, which is another rare one too. Very hard to get the Otto.
Wow.
We have some yellows too, and a lot of red ones. A lot of red hybrids too. Green mouse too, a lot of them. A little by little we're expanding. We're trying to keep up, like we were saying before, with inventory. At least 80% of the most that we actually always publish because of the shortage itself.
Do you have
Even
any
abuse.
Do you have any problems here with raccoons or anything, or squirrels?
Yes, when it's a fruiting season.
Yes.
Especially in summer, sometimes we go and we find a mango eating halfway or something like that. But one of the things that I learned, we are part of the nature. So they were before us. My husband will always tell me, let them eat. They had to eat. They were before us, so let them eat. So that's what we do. We don't really kill them or nothing like that.
When you got this property, was it just were there trees here you took down, or was
it was the most clear lot available, but even though it was about probably another 20 pines in the back, about 20, 25 pines, my husband but another employee, they were actually taking down little by little. So matter of fact, just to give you we have actually the power line crossing, and it was a row of pines in there, and we need to clear out. And he actually knocked down the line a couple times,
wow.
and it went down the electricity to the entire neighborhood. And says, I guess we're gonna need a crew for this.
Yes. Wow.
But yeah, we were able actually to clear. We're still having some left.
Now all these trees are in pots for future sale. Do you have any trees in the ground that you?
We've been actually putting some in the ground. Because of the lack of space, we've been actually putting back into the pots again, because we're trying to have the most sun available possible, because most of these trees, they definitely need sun to grow. So yeah, we have some few mangoes and avocados that we actually put in the ground.
So on the Camito, other than the green and the purple, do you have any other varieties?
No, right now. Those are the main. I do have a view.
A view. Oh wow. Okay.
Which is,
okay, that's
I have
great. Yes.
the grafted view and the seedling ones.
Okay.
On the relative of the caimitos.
And what about custard apple? You have custard apple?
I do have custard apple, but they went to dormancy.
Ooh.
They have it. They went late to dormancy, so right now they are like a naked tree, with no leaves.
Yeah. So what varieties of the custard apple do you have?
Right now we have I have few left for the San Pablo actually, but they don't have leaves right now. And the Havana, which is the white inside variety, which is the most popular one actually.
Yeah. Do you have the Fernandez?
No, sometimes we got it, but no this time. No, this year we're out of it. Yeah, sometimes we have the Fernandez available. We even have some trees that we are trying to propagate. We have some seedless guava too.
Seedless guava.
Yeah, a lot of people like the guava, but they don't like to deal with the seeds.
How many varieties of avocados do you sell here?
We usually have about 20 varieties, 20, 25. Here we are actually, little by little, we are also, we took down a couple greenhouses that we had before. Since they were not really, they were like our first greenhouses, and we removed it and we just bought actually a commercial one. So all the section that right now is actually kind of mess is gonna be the greenhouse in the future. We bought it last year actually, the greenhouse, so we're gonna start, because we're still growing, so we started to propagate some stuff, but because of the lack of greenhouse, we've been having sometimes we even plant seeds and then the squirrels eat the seeds. Yeah. And it's like, oh great. So one of those things, but soon we'll have that part clear.
Are you growing plants from seeds here?
Oh yes, we need to grow some plants for seed to have a rootstock to graft in. And sometimes we propagate some stuff, you know, some basic stuff, moringas, papayas, sour saps, stuff like that. Some stuff that you could actually grow from seeds. June plants, a lot of actually. So behind you there is a bunch of markers that we are actually using it.
Oh, wow.
It. Yeah. And but like I was telling you before, we kind of running out of space already. We've been trying to use every single space. We even had that line, the part that we actually try to plant some trees. It's one of the things that we were planning to put more. Since we are collecting the Avocados, we're gonna plant those in the ground. All of them actually, even though it gets a little harder because of the pH conditions, but we could, you know, little by little. We have one of those, couple of those actually already fruiting in pots here. Avocados. The breadfruit is still actually coming back. This is the Dexter actually. Start already fruiting for the first time.
Oh wow, it's already getting fruit.
Yeah, it's already getting fruit. This one only grows 6 feet tall. It's a really door variety.
What's the name of it?
Dexter. I'll forget that label. The label is miss.
Oh,
is miss.
Dexter.
Yeah. It's Dexter.
Okay, job with the cover. Okay.
And this is actually the Montgomery, actually Spanish line. The South 40, because usually you need to have 2 trees. That's the South 40 one. We're growing some cacaos.
Where's your cacao?
The cacaos are fruiting in pots actually.
Oh, wow.
They're fruiting pots. We have some mangoes in here, some different types of bananas, and we also plantains that put in the ground. This is a Lancetilla one. Some others, they're in a big, actually, pots. The cacaos, we just cut a couple cacaos last week, but we're still having actually.
Wow,
fruits
in the
already.
pot, and they got
Yeah.
cacao growing.
Yeah, they have fruits already, and many are still actually flowering. Many
Wow.
still actually keep blooming and blooming. They're still actually fruiting in the pot, very good. Some bilimbis. If you don't like citrus, that would be a good option for your lemonade.
Yes.
Or they do sauces. I heard they do sauces, pickling. It's a cucumber tree. But it tastes just like a gooseberry to me, really. Oh, we have gooseberries.
Cucumber tree.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Slaughter. And this is finally my Savara start fruiting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. They start actually fruiting already.
Nice.
Yeah.
How old is this?
As a matter of fact, when we got it, it was probably about 3 years old to 4. So I know this takes 10 years, but probably in the next 4 years. So it took us about another 4 years for us to grow. So less than 10 years it actually produced with us, and about 8 years. This is the first time they produced.
Wow.
This is the actually the hybrid. It produced already several times.
The red one, yeah.
The red one,
Yeah,
it produced
yeah.
several times already. We have some hawkshell mangoes also in around. A lot of people, they actually ask for door varieties, and this is one of those. You can keep it very compacted. Moringas everywhere, even though we are trying to clear. The hawkshells that already actually put
Yeah,
in
I
there.
have some on my tree now.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, it's very compacted.
I like this tree actually started short. That's perfect.
Yep, it's very compacted tree. We're gonna give it a little thinning in the middle, but yeah, it's a very short door. And we have the ornamentals too, you know. That's something like we have palms and some actually bromelias, agaves, some cactuses, succulents, aloes. And we have a whole line of flowers in the front too.
Oh, wow.
Because it kind of complements, you know, when you do your garden, you kind of do the whole thing sometimes.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. So we have different types of crotons and the landscaping materials and jasmines, the comfort jasmine.
So you sell landscape material, you sell
Yes.
soil here and
We
stuff?
sell soil, we sell fertilizer.
Do you make your own soil and fertilizer, or you get it from out of?
We get it, the fertilizer comes actually already bagged. The soil, we make a special mix that we find out is the best thing to actually grow them. So it's our mix. We try to sell some organically products too for maintain fungus and sometimes bugs away. We sell those too. We do also landscaping design as well.
Oh, you do. So you go out to people's
Houses
properties
and
and you help them figure out where to put the fruit
where to put the
trees.
trees. We have a program we could actually literally design the whole thing for you.
Oh, wow.
And we do like regular landscape, but we like to do more actually fruit tree landscape, like edible landscape. That's one of those things that we like to. So we have, like I said, different varieties of smell. We have those really nice jasmine, sweet actually almonds. They smell really nice. Photocarpus, irises, roses, jatropas. And most of them they actually bring bees and butterflies, which is good, for the plants. The symbiosis in between. Hibiscus. This is a pomegranate. It's called door pomegranate. Have you ever seen those pineapples, the little ones?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing. This is an ornamental. A lot of nurseries they get confused. The door pomegranate is it flowers year round. They'll give you really tiny fruits, but then we have the real one that produce really, really big fruits. And Panama goldfish. It's funny about that flower too. The
Oh, wow.
angel trumpet.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful, but also very poisonous.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, you don't hear about that one? You could smell
No.
that one and you could get high on those.
Yeah.
The miracle fruits and cacaos and cinnamon trees and stuff like that. More actually.
Okay, as you can see here, they have a full stock of many different varieties of plants, and there's also a lot of people here. There's always people coming and going here. I guess people know where to go when they want this stuff. And what I like about this place here is in the back they have a whole bunch of stocks of plants. So if they're out in the front, they can just grab it from the back. A lot of nurseries often run out of plants, run out of things, but they have a big stock in the back. This is also unique here. Besides fruit trees, they sell ornamental plants here and also medicinal plants, which is a really cool thing. So the owners here, he had a health condition and he was very overweight. He's lost over 100 pounds.
Well, actually, 200 pounds already.
200 pounds, and this is where the heart is, and this is why they're doing this. And so tell us, you were talking about Moringa, how Moringa saved your life.
Yeah, Moringa saved my life because as a mechanic, I unfortunately lost control of my weight, and I went up to 420 pounds. And my mother was introduced me to Ophelia. Ophelia Moringa is the most common one that you see. But I did my research and I found out there was another type of Moringa called MPK1. Now the MPK1 has almost 4 times more value than the regular Ophelia, but the problem is that it's slow growing. So I took it upon myself, I cross-pollinated them, and I found out a Moringa that has much bigger leaves, and that's the one that we're consuming now. So it's very unique to the market. A lot of people don't know also that the Moringa seed, in the islands they call it the poor man's Viagra. The poor man, and I did my research, medical research, and it says it explains why, because it helps the smaller capillaries in the body to clean them up. It also has a lot of anti-inflammatory properties. So literally in the moringa, except the bark, is the only thing you can eat. But in the bark, it has an enzyme. It's what you see in the diet pills that wrap the greasy parts of what you consume, small portion of it, but it also helps it so you get rid of your body without having to consume the grease. So I recommend it to everybody. It's a lifesaver. It helps anywhere from 15 to 20% of diabetic people to lower their sugar. Also, people who have anti-inflammatory problems, it also helps a lot. And I could go on and on.
And you're going to have both moringas here available?
Oh yes, definitely. We have seedlings going up again. And like I said, it's a beautiful plant.
Do you offer the seeds here as well?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
And in a powder form also.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
that's
so,
great.
Because unfortunately, a lot of stores, when you buy them in capsules, what the people don't know is that when they grind them down, they grind them down with sticks and all. And the sticks doesn't really have nothing to offer. But what we do is we take only the leaf and we'll let them dry naturally out. And once they dry, we put them to the coffee grinder. And we sift out any little remainder so you have pure powder.
So you make the powder here yourself?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
Wow.
And it's one of those things that, like I said, I'm a living person, that the factors of it.
Exactly. So your passion to be here is just like me. You got better healthy and you wanted to share the
Yes,
wealth.
it's a lot of work. I'm not going to tell you different, but when I see people come in, I've seen a lot of people coming with cancer, liver problems, and all that. And I emphasize on those people because we all have people in our family that got sick. So we try to do the best to guide them in the right direction. And I also we're very firm to tell that we as Americans we need to start learning how to eat better, and by that, I never heard nobody that ate fruit trees and they get sick off them.
Exactly.
It doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Get rid of the pills. The doctor's not gonna love you too much, but your wife will.
That's all. There's a noni tree. And a lot of people aren't able to get this fruit, but they would tell me here the leaves are so healing to the external part of the body, and the fruit's healing to inside the body.
And headaches
For
also.
healing and headaches.
And the fruit is very known for it helps the body to fight off cancer.
Yes. And you were telling me about the mountain soursop, because a lot of people don't just know about soursop and the leaves, but you say...
Yeah, mountain soursop is very unique. They're not known for the fruit because the fruit is not very flavorful and very fibrous and small. It's brown more than green. But the unique thing about the tree is it has 4 times more properties than your regular soursop of medicine value for cancer situations itself. And a lot of times, your regular soursop in a storm, you could lose the plant itself. And it's incredible the value of it itself. So those are things that we specialize in, and pretty soon we'll start having like just a session for natural fruit trees that to help the bodies. We have already a lot of things covering cancer, diabetes, liver situations. But we're adding up everything else because Catherine's specialty in the medical field is nutrition. And we've been adding on, but eventually we want to try to help everybody we can to eat naturally again, because health is the most important thing. You can never, no matter how much money you have, you're never going to get it back.
Exactly, exactly. Wow. Yeah. And you were saying the mountain soursop tastes terrible, but its properties are so wonderful.
Like I said, it's 4 times more. Another common mistake is they'll do like a soursop, take the leaves, and think because they do a tea that's going to cure them. No, a tea, I have a lot of people that make tea, but they use it as a maintenance product to avoid future problems with cancer. They already had cancer, and they were, thank the Lord, they were able to be saved. But the proper way to do is, for example, the mountain soursop is to take the leaves, dry them up naturally, and grind them down, and consume it in a powder form because the effect is going to be 100 times stronger.
Wow. And when you dry them up, do you dry them up by heat or just by leaving them out in the sun?
No, not by heat, because anytime, a lot of people don't realize that when you cook a fruit or vegetable, it takes a lot of the vitamin properties away, the minerals. What I do is I put them in, for example, like in a garage, something where it doesn't get direct sunlight, and I'll turn them over a couple times a day, and within a couple of days already they're dry. And I'll literally take with my hand and break them up, and then just put in my coffee grinder, and then sift them out, and then I got a pure form of the leaf, very fresh itself. And that's something like that. I've seen miracles. I could be here the rest of the day tell you stories of people that I've actually seen, not stories that you hear from somebody else, because it has a tendency to become more of a hero thing than a true fact. And it is true because we have the ability to cure ourselves. So the Asians have been doing it for many years. We just need to catch up.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah. All right, everybody. That was my trip at Jack and the Beanstalk Nursery. What an amazing place. I could have spent so much more time there, and I already spent so much time there. I just love connecting with people that are into health, and just I love the amazing amount of stock they have in the fruit trees and how organized it was. But what I especially loved was the perennial greens and the medicinal herbs that they were talking about, and they care about that, and just the whole place was top class, top notch. Everything was wonderful there. It's no wonder why when I was there, there was so many people coming and going. And I wish I would have known about them years ago. I actually did. I wish I would have got out there. But I'm going to put their link below the video, in the description, their website and their contact information. Go to their website, check them out. If you're looking for fruit trees, if you're looking for perennial greens, this is definitely a nursery you want to visit. And I'll be back there again for sure. Until then, everybody, thanks for watching. If you like these videos, like and subscribe. Until then, everybody, have a great day and keep growing.